Hello, my name is Masha Jürgens, and welcome to Character Animation Secondary Animation Workshop. So I need to introduce myself again. So I did it last week. They will do it every week now. Um, so I'm a 3D animator. I have been working as a 3D animator for about 20 years now. Started in 2D animation and about 15 years ago moved to 3D. I've worked a lot in Europe, in Germany and Netherlands and England. Um, then I moved to Australia and worked here on such projects as Legend of the Guardians, House of Gahul, then Happy Feet 2, and Walking with Dinosaurs. I really hope you know at least one of those movies. So I worked as a character animator on those movies, and it was beautiful, big experience, big movies. So now I'm teaching, and I'm really enjoying it. So today we're going to talk about secondary animation, and what is the secondary animation? I hope you know what it is, but I'm going to show you one slide here. So what is secondary action? So animation action, of course. Secondary action is an action which supports the main goal of the shot. Important is that it always supports and lifts the main idea and never overwhelms the main action. Why to use it? To intensify an emotion, to raise the believability of your character, and to help to interpret who the character is. I think it's quite simple, quite clear what it is, but we're going to go a bit closer. We're going to have a look at all these topics closer, and I'm going to show you in Maya on my animation what does it mean. So basically, also here on the side you can read this gestures support dialogue and illustrate feelings. So all the gestures you implement in your animations, they're all secondary actions, right? And another point here is animator's job is to observe. It's a very important point because by observing the life outside, by observing other people moving and acting, well, not acting, just moving and living their life, you can pick on so many interesting aspects and so many interesting movements they do without realizing it, what they're doing actually. And all these little movements, they are the secondary action. And all the secondary actions are as important as nice hand animation as well. So we talked last week about the hand animation, and you could see how much it gives to the character, and it makes the character so much more believable and so much more alive. And all those secondary actions as well, like gestures, and we'll talk about it, what exactly they are a bit later. They all contribute to the whole experience of what your character is, and really helps you to project the emotions, what the character is experiencing to the 3D world, and that will be very visible for the viewers. So, and they will love your character, and it will be appealing, they will be interesting, they will be really watchable. This is what the end, what we want. So, oops, it's the wrong way. Okay, so good examples of secondary action. It's, for example, embarrassing, scratching a head, nose, and ear. This is, all of us are like, I don't know, I'm not sure. Well, my ear is covered right now, but I could maybe just pull a little bit on my earlobe or something. It's a little bit embarrassing. Or, I don't know, all of you seen that many, many times before that the people do this. And all these little gestures, you think they are not important, but they are important. Very important. So because they just help you to show what the character is doing, how the character is feeling, right? So it could be very emotional one, happy or sad. So like whipping away the tear, you might be laughing and you might get very teary. That happens to me now and then. So much laughing, and you so funny. Or it will be maybe sad moment, and you just wiping away the tear because it's really sad. This is also secondary action. Not uncomfortable, thoughtful, picking up a stone, pen, grass, and playing with it. So very often you can see it, for example, the speakers or the teachers even. So I went through it when I started to teach. I always had something in my hands, like a pen, because when you're holding the pen, kind of playing with it a little bit, it helps you to maybe to concentrate, that I don't know, somehow to come out from this uncomfortable situation you're in, right? Or thoughtful. It's like, and you do something, or like on a table, you do this, right? It's very annoying. It starts to click, 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 click. But many people do that and they're not even realizing they're doing it till somebody said, could you please stop doing it? All right. So another one is compulsive or nervous, licking their lips in the middle of the sentence. Well, best probably example is the latest Joker by Heath Ledger. So when he was like a little bit like lizardy, he was in between licking his lips, and it contributed a lot to his performance and to his character. I think if you would take it out, that wouldn't be the same Joker, right? So, and this little tick, this a little bit compulsive um, action what he had, just gave so much to his character, and it just gave us this awesome Joker what he created on the screen. So again, it's a secondary action. As you can see, there are some bad examples of secondary action as well. So like repeating the secondary action so often that it becomes distracting. So I'm going to show you in Maya on one of the scenes I already animated. So how it's going to be distracting. And overload the character with different secondary actions. This is also a bad idea because it's less is more. You need to pick one or two maybe secondary actions what this character is doing and stick to it. Because if he's like making something with a pen, scratching their head, rubbing the nose, licking the lips, and then wiping the tear, that's like, yeah, what? What's going on? Nobody knows. So it's and it totally will take the whole attention just away from what your character is actually doing, what is going through, because it's just too many things are happening around. So this is again, if we're gonna go back to previous one, so that the important is that it always supports and lifts the main idea and never overwhelms the main action, right? Secondary action is an action which supports the main goal of the shot. Again, repetition. So this is very important, believe me. So we are moving now to practical part, so to Maya. By the way, if you have any questions, please type them in the chat window, so I will receive them, and while I have time, I will answer your questions. So you're very welcome to do it. Okay. So now we're going to one shot. I animated this shot actually for one of the tutorials I made for the AIE. It was on lip sync and acting tutorial. We'll probably, I don't know, just 1 second. I will actually need to check if you can hear what my character is saying as well. So 1 second. All right, I will create the little play blast here meanwhile. Oh, it's a bit slow. Why is it so slow? Oh, well. All right, so I'll just find my play blast. Where did it go? Come on, play blast. Ah, here we are. So I don't think you can hear the sound, unfortunately. And this is talking character. Um, so she's saying, now answer my question. You don't like me. Why? So it's about the same. It's my question. You don't like me. Why? I have to do it from the other side. It's very funny. Um, yeah, it's a pity you can't hear it, but it doesn't really matter because it's all about just the second reactions right now, uh, and I hope you can read her lips, which is actually also a very important point. So this is why, if you have a good lip sync, and you know the line, you can basically um, read the lips. Oh, apparently you can just hear it. Well, but at least it's okay because we're not doing a lip sync now. So I just need you to have just the idea what it is, what the shot is, and what she's saying. All right. Okay. Now answer my question. You don't like me. Why? All right. So this is the same character I actually used a week ago. This is Mathilda, free character. Very nice freak. I really like her hands. Well, and really like also her facial. So you can create really nice lip sync and emotions, facial expressions. So it's a really good character to learn and to try the things out. All right. So what we basically do, so you already see that there are a couple of secondary animations there. So like the fingers, for example, right? So if you have a look at the fingers and the hands and fingers, so she's, right? So all of this is like, well, secondary actions, not much. Another one is on her foot here. So just a little bit when at the beginning, yeah. All right, again, not too much, well, because it's a really short shot as well. It's just 100 frames long. And it's really intense shot, so I didn't really need to do too much secondary actions in this shot. And but we're gonna do it, and you will see how you can improve or not improve, rather not improve the shot by adding some secondary actions. Okay, so we start here with all right, so my mind needs to wake up. Okay, just check if my render, yeah, okay, good. All right, so what the first thing I probably would do, I will add some more movement. It's a bit slow. To her leg, to her foot. So like a little trembling, so like a little bit like nervous thing. So you what because the leg is there as hanging, there is no contact with the surface. It's kind of asking for some animation, so nearly. All right, and we're going to add some secondary animation here. So the first thing though, I'm going to adjust a bit settings here on the knee, because right now the knee, if you can see here in a channel box, it's parented to the leg. So it means if I rotate the leg, the knee is rotating as well. And this is I don't really need to do in this case, because otherwise the if I animate the foot, the knee will move as well. I don't want to have it. So I'm going to change something here, but I will probably leave it because here at the end, he's moving the knee to the side. And I don't want to keep this way. So I have a key sitting here, and it's good. And maybe like frame 80 or something. I will change. How should I? I'm also thinking. Or maybe I should just change it to the beginning and we'll see what will happen. So if I go here on 0, and where's my knee orientation? I'll just delete that. And then just move the knee control here. Not sure if I'm going to damage now my animation or not. Yeah, that might happen. Yes, especially start to adjust something and it's like, oh, I'm doing it better. No, you destroying your animation maybe. All right, so those probably keys are not that relevant anymore. I'll just have a look at stoppers. Okay, from this one, okay. So let's say, so that's this knee. Well, the knee is not moving much anymore, but that's okay. Well, I'll just leave it for now. And it's at the end when she's going to the side here. I will probably just animate her knee again. Something like that. All right. Okay, we have a new knee animation here. That's all right. Okay, but now I can freely move the foot. All right. Okay, so we're going to work just with X rotation because I don't want to do more than that. I want to add a little bit this up and down, this little tiny little tremble, so up and down. So again up. Oops, that was up. Now I need to go down now. Down. I will scale this keys later. I don't know. We'll just have a look, just see. We're going. No, bad idea. I still want to sit them on the same frames. Okay, I'll get rid of this one and I will just copy and paste those guys. Edit, copy, edit, paste. So that we have this little up and down, up and down. Now I do the same with this part. Copy, paste. So maybe vary them a little bit so that they're not really repeating exactly the same value. All right. Okay, and now just have a look what it looks like. So it's probably a bit too big, but we'll just create a little play blast and have a look. All right, so now I'll just do not the whole shot, so to save some time. Just a little part here. All right. I think it's funny. So now it's, well, it could be, right? So you totally could have that. And I probably even even if she's doing that at the beginning, right? So it could be, but what it gives us, I probably will do now the whole shot. What it gives us a bit, it changes the situation a little bit, I think, because that makes him a bit more nervous. This a little bit, this movement and her foot, it shows that she's uncomfortable. She is nervous. She's asking really direct questions. So, you don't like me? Why? Just tell me. So, well, it's a really direct question. It's very, I'm not really sure what the situation was in that movie. But from her being so like she was at the beginning, for being very um, kind of more in a safe place, feeling more in a safe place, just by adding the secondary action on her foot. So we're giving her a little bit more instability, a little bit unsecure feeling what she's having. All right. And we all know this moment. That the same could be what if you focus on the ground and you just do this with the knee. So a knee goes up and down like really, really in a fast frequency. You've seen it probably a million times, and maybe even you doing it. You may be doing it now. Maybe not. But it's interesting. So there, because so many things are happening kind of automatically, and you're not even thinking about those little things. And you as an animator, this is your job to see all these little things and save them on your hard drive in your head, I mean your memory, memorize them. And one day you might need them to use them somewhere in animation, on production, or whatever, wherever you or your own movie. So we need to observe. This is why an animator's job is to observe. You observe the life and you take little pieces out of it. You look at every single piece and you save it. All right. So I think it's quite obvious, right? So what happened here with the food? All right. So yeah, because I deleted the animation on her knee. Knee is a little bit too stiff right now. It's just not moving. The whole leg is not moving. This is what I absolutely hate in animation. The frozen um, controls, so that you animating the organic character. So it's supposed to be organic, right? So we're never really 100% frozen, right? Only with that we're not. If as long we move, we breathing. So there's some tiny little bit movement always happening. And all parts of our body, is it like a knee or even the shoulder, or um, also like her leg is over another leg. So it will be some movement as well. So this is what I always teach my students. I don't want to see frozen limbs or frozen hip or frozen shoulders or frozen head. Nothing shouldn't be frozen, right? So all right, so this is the one thing. The other one, I think, what she might do, I probably will now animate her so that between the sentences, after she's saying, now answer my question, that's the first one. You don't like me, why? And this is after the first one here. Now answer, oops, come back. Now answer my question. Here, she takes your left hand and maybe wipes on the nose or something. Or, I don't know, some things you need to do. It shouldn't look like she's sticking the finger into her nose somewhere in between. But I want to do something like what it maybe one of the animators would think. All right, so she need a little bit secondary action that because she's thinking, right? So it doesn't have to be. I think it's working like that absolutely perfectly. But you might see that something what I'm going to animate now that will actually more be too much. but we will do it. All right, just to show you. Okay, so we are going now to her arm. All right. By the way, this the screen, so this layout you can see on my Maya, I found this most comfortable to work with, even if I have two monitors. I don't know, maybe I'm too old-fashioned. I don't know. Oh, usually I have on a second monitor, my Play Blast is coming up or something, but I never separate this, the graph editor, for example, because I want to have just direct under. I like it if it's direct under the graph editor. I know what this or that control is doing, and I can adjust the curve. And the second window is always the camera, so I know what is looks like. It could be actually quite small because it's just checking the if it's working from that angle or not. Because we're always animating to the camera, don't forget about it. Of course, our character should look good and balanced from all sides. And we are so lucky we have 3D. So, but at the end of the day, she should look good through the camera. And sometimes you even, yeah, you might sometimes need to cheat somehow. I don't know. So like maybe, especially it's quite often happening if you have intersection with the elbow, for example, this arm, I can't see it through the camera. And this arm, for example, would have stuck, like, I don't know, in her thigh, but if I can't see it through the camera, I don't really care. All right. So where were we? Second reactions. Okay, so we're going back here. So now going to this moment. So you're saying. So question. So this is here what she's saying. Question. Now this is her arm. Just select the elbow as well because they're connected. It's IK. So you're always animating the hand, also the whole arm on the one control, and IK for the elbow. In this case, they're there, and it's mostly the handles for the elbows a bit outside somewhere. Okay, so those are my keys for both of the controls. I probably delete this one. All right, and I'm going to raise her arm. I'm not very sure about the timing yet, and I'm not really sure what she's gonna do, but that's kind of, we'll see. So she's going to raise her hand up. What can she do? Maybe even she might hold the hand like that. I kind of thinking, right? So, why? Is there a question? You don't like me. Why? I know. Well, okay. Just have a look. So what the elbow is doing? It's probably fine there. Okay, she's getting her hand up. I'll probably leave it there. So, but here when she's saying why, you don't like me, she might leave this arm up till here, maybe even. So I just copied and pasted the keys. So I remember how to do it. You just go on the timeline. You press and hold middle mouse click. Right? You selected the controls. Don't forget about it. So you can drag it, drop it, and then hit S, and you will copy and paste the keys of the controls you selected. Right? You can even copy just in between the keys. Doesn't matter. It will copy just the position of your arm. It will not copy it's not copying this specific key. It's copying the position in this 3D world. So you can even copy this, exactly this movement here. That's really handy. I love this feature. All right, so that's what they have here now. So she's taking it up. Okay, so I think it's a bit too long. I probably will get that. Probably give you a little bit more space here. I will copy and paste this one a bit early, so that she's not holding so long. Okay, let's have a look. And then she's going down. So, of course, we need some overlap. All right, so the arm is first there, touches the knee, and the hand is following. And here it's going down. All right. So right now the hand is frozen, but it doesn't matter because I just wanted to see if it's working at all like the idea. So before I get into too much trouble and animate too much, like on a little movements, just to defrost the keys as well, because right now they're on the flat tangents. The value is absolutely the same on two poses. So this is not acceptable, of course. So you have to do something with the curves a little bit, give a little bit life and movements. But before I do that, I just need to check if it's on timing, if the timing is working, if it's something it's really I can accept and move forward to. So I'm creating like 1 million probably play blast while I'm working. I seriously dislike this play option, especially in this character. She's quite heavy. It's quite heavy rig. And even if I'm going to, I can show you. So even if I have a settings play real time, it won't play real time. This is it. So, but what it will do, it's the play blast will do. All right. Okay, so I think she's, because it's a bit too fast. So, okay, even I don't like the idea anyway, but I'm just showing you what you can do with the secondary animation, how you can be just add too much, right? So I think she's a bit too fast on getting up with her arm. So that means I need to move the keys a little bit. So we're going up here, and it's very linear right now, so we definitely need to build a little arc in that because everything is on arcs in animation. One of the principles of animation, if I may remind you about them. So just have a look. Okay, I probably will delete even this key. Let's see what's happened. What happened? So she's starting to lift the arm earlier, and it's a bit weird. This hand, I think, probably a little bit too much overlap on that hand here. Just a little bit less. And as always, you settle into the pose, right? You kind of overshoot a little bit. So if she's going up, she will never come straight to the pose. She will go overshoot a little bit and come back, right? So it's everything, all poses. If you have it, if it's not an in between, if you're going to the key pose, and this is what we're creating right now. This is the key pose. Yeah, all movements which you had before, they all overshoot a little bit and are coming back. So settle down somewhere. All right, so that will be okay right now. Okay, so I need to get this. This is overshooting, and we're going probably here so that he's maybe a bit earlier. And she's really holding her hand there. But again, we need to relax a little bit this pose because right now it's just everything is flat tangents, and it is a little bit annoying. All right, so okay. All right, so we'll do another play blast. Just have a look. By the way, again, if you have any questions, please just type in the chat window and I will answer your questions. Don't be shy. Whatever you want to know about the animation. So it's if it's even not really related to this topic, but somehow has to do something with animation, I will try to answer your question. Okay. All right, so this is a bit better in the timing. So it's a bit rushed. It's a bit rushed in between. There's obviously not enough time. I wouldn't. So I didn't do this. I mean, I did now, but my original animation has no secondary action here at this point where you could theoretically build in. No, which is actually quite often happening, especially if your character is thinking. We tend to give our characters this, this extra movements, extra thoughtful, or something, right? So looking somewhere up and put your hand here and think, it doesn't really have to be. So it's you shouldn't comment all of the actions, of course, like all of the words, what your character is saying or what he's thinking. You're not commenting everything. So in this case, I probably could even left her some question. I'll probably do it even earlier. She's still a bit too fast on lifting this arm. And when she's going down, what else I would do, I would open her fingers here so that so that the hand is open. Yeah, all right. So I've got one question from Jared. Should secondary animation be something you look at before you begin the design process? Yeah, you need to think about it, but I would say you shouldn't concentrate on that too much because if you think about it too much, that will become very like a main action. Yeah, so just don't forget that the secondary is the secondary and should stay secondary. It shouldn't interfere with main action, right? So when you start animating, when you're planning your animation and you do the thumbnails or you already in the blocking, you think about the big poses, the key poses, rather than the secondary stuff. And The secondary animation you always can build in just at the end even. So if you see, you just will see if your character already has it right, the timing is right, the main key poses are sitting where they should be, and they're strong enough, and you're moving from the blocking to spline, and then somewhere in the between you might think, oh well, actually there's a bit time to do something, to give this character a little bit more character, or turn this character into unexpected way, right? So like discover something new. You will you will see, because you never work you like I mean you never work like for 5 minutes on a shot. Usually not. You can't animate like 100 frames of final animation in 5 minutes. So you always spend time, and more you look at your animation, more you see, and you get into this character. You think about this character, and you discover the things about this character, right? So it's even something you haven't seen at the beginning, you might will see in the middle of your animation, or even closer to the end. Or you might show to somebody else will say, oh, what do you think? Or how about she will do like, I don't know, just correct the glasses, for example, right? So this is the secondary animation as well. So if I would do this, yeah, so I will readjust my glasses, which is very quite often happening if your character is wearing glasses. Also gives a little bit moment. I have a little bit break to think, yeah, before I say something. So I just readjust the glasses, and I'm thinking about, okay, so where should I start, right? Okay, so I wouldn't think from the beginning about that. So another question is from Alex. Who is this character who designed her? This character is the Mathilda with TH. This is the free rig you can find online. If you Google, just say Mathilda free rig, you will find her. I think it is designed by a Spanish company. I'm not really sure. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I probably should have a look, because it's already the second time somebody asking me. When you're downloading the free rigs, please read the license agreements, because most of the free characters in the free rigs, they are not 100% free. So most of them are free for teaching purposes, for your own showreel. You can create your own animation, but you can't earn any money with those animations. So it means you can't take it to the company, or you can't animate something at home and sell it to the company, for example, with these rigs. So the free rigs, they are free just for sake of that you learn something, and we are in schools using them a lot, so that we can show. So right, so there's so many talented people as well around, and they're creating such an awesome rigs. And so as I said, so you can find it online. All right, I probably will just adjust a little bit more, so it's not looking so bad. I don't like to even make my animation worse than it was okay, but I don't like to make it worse, but I don't want to do it worse. So if I can help it somehow. All right, so what I'm gonna do is to start moving her arm a bit earlier. By the way, quite often it's happening if you're working in somewhere in the industry, you animated the shot, and you're like this was the finished shot, and you're showing to director, and director is looking at that and saying, well, you know what, I want this character in between do a little jump. You're like, what? But this is director is always right. Okay, so you have to do it. So it's quite often you have to add some kind of movements or adjustments, or even if it's not a jump, if our director might say, well, I want her to change the legs somewhere in between. So she had her right leg over, and director say, this is my vision, I want her to change the legs. So you will do it. So that's quite often it's happening. So you just go back to your animation and change something. So this is kind of the way to change the things, even you're already animated the whole shot. All right, so this is another question from Alison. It's a good question, Alison. So last time you did hand animations, is there a difference between the hand animations you did and the secondary actions? Is hand animation considered hand? Is hand animations considered hand animations? It's interesting. The last sentence I don't really understand, but okay, I understand the basically what you're asking. So yes, it is hands and the fingers are secondary animations, of course. But because we talked about the last week, we talked just about the hands. And today we're talking about all the other things which are secondary animation, could be secondary animations. Yes, hands are definitely secondary animation. Whatever you do, if I would, like last week, it was that little movements, like on a Snow White, we had an example. So what she was doing, how she was holding the hands, and what we were talking last week was more just to create nice poses with the hands, so that the hands are not looking like shovels, right? Or this default flat robot hands, yeah. So that the hands are looking organic and also, of course, in the reaction, so that the character changes the mood or gets scared, the hands will react, something will happen in the hands, or straighten, or get into fist. It's all, but it's still it is still, of course, the secondary animation, definitely. Today we're also talking about the secondary animations too, like using objects, or you have like maybe you have like little tick or something that can happen, or you blinking too much. This is also secondary, like some people are blinking a lot and it's a little bit distracting, but or they're slicking their lips. So yeah. Oh, listen, do not apologize. It's all fine. It's all fine. I've got the idea. Okay, but it's a really good question. Thank you, Alison. Yeah. All right. So we okay, what we're going here. So yeah, exactly. So I wanted to lift your arm a bit earlier up. So we'll just delete those keys. So yep, you made such a beautiful keys, but you have to delete them because you have to build something into your animation. That's happening so often. So, but that's life. All right, so we're lifting up maybe this key a little bit earlier. And I will start to get here. Just a little bit. All right, then here rotation, it was a bit too much on rotation. Come on, where's my rotation? There. All right, so this is the Z rotation, I think. Yeah. So I know we'll just adjust that. I just select that. It's probably this overshoot. It was a bit too much. Just a little bit here. Adjust the curve. And here it's probably going a little bit too much down. All right, and the last thing, I will, oops, stop. Yeah, I will open her fingers a little bit on the way down, just to finish that somehow. Oops. So I just need the fingers. So that's my fingers, finger curves. And when she's here up. By the way, when you're lifting, for example, the hand I would probably close the fingers a bit later as well. So I'll just, oh, this is the wrong one. What's it doing here? Go away, I don't want you. Oh, what am I selecting? So, do it again. Alright, so I think this is just the fingers. So I will probably close the fingers a bit later. So, alright, and then also readjust while she's having the fingers, so that the hand here, just a little bit movement here again, just tiny bit, so that the fingers not really, again, not frozen, just having a little bit maybe pressure here, and she's going down on the way now, so it's up. I will set the key just before she goes down, and now on the way down I will probably open the fingers a little bit. So okay, just have a look so that you don't have next frame some kind of animation happening, so that they jump. Just also make sure that they are not linear in this case. Like for example here as well, it's a linear, there will be, so that the curves are looking nice and smooth. All right. And all right, so I'm gonna create a little play blast and just have a look. All right, we are coming close to the end of our workshop. I really hope you learned something today and you enjoy that, because it's something I really enjoy. I love animation. All my life is animation, so and I really like to share my knowledge with you. So you're all very welcome to watch our following workshops. So, and here, I'm not sure it is really 100%. Right, so that's not perfect, of course, and I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do this second, but this is just to show you how you can a little bit overload your animation with secondary actions. So they're good, but they're not always necessary. So you really need to pick the moment and the break, or the meaning for this, the way where you animate the secondary action. All right, just do not put it everywhere. Okay, so because I think it's not necessary here. It's kind of, it will be like, I'm thinking it's not enough time. If she would maybe she would have had more time, that might be will be all right. In this case, doesn't have to be. And even this food at the beginning can be, but I would say I would even more accept this food animation rather than hand up, because but still it gives you a little bit different emotion and a little bit different attitude. I think she's a bit more confident than that, right? So in her voice, how she's saying it, but it is acceptable, and I probably wouldn't stop somewhere in the middle of the shot this movement. I would probably continue till the end a little bit. But well, okay. So here we are at the end. So if you have, if you're interested in what we're doing, you're welcome to visit our website, and it's aiedu.au. Or we're on Twitter, of course, and we're on Facebook. You can follow our activities and the progress of our students as well. It was nice. Thank you very much.